my god, why does it take so long to come to colour? Anyway, that was my back session, my first back session of the week, featuring Amy.
Hi.
If you don't know who Amy is, I'll leave her Instagram handle below. She is queen of the cheat meal. Also, this shirt, phenomenal shirt. If you want a shirt like this, I'll also leave the link from the place I got the shirt, which is Pilif Apparel. Check them out, they're fucking sick, and I'll see you when I get home. What's going on, guys? We're currently on our way to Backyard Burgs, in case you can't read. My post-workout nutrition is absolutely on point today. We have a protein shake, a banana that's like bigger than my entire head, and 2 Biscoff Kit Kats. Because they are they're not as good as I thought they were going to be, I'll be honest. We also have a boot like with 35 kilos of meat in it. The meat is in an esky with ice, it's not just 35 kilos of meat in the car. That would be pretty bad. Pretty sure that would result in food poisoning. But we are on our way over to the east side. It takes like an hour and 10 to get there. So we'll fill you in more when we get there. We'll be with Ainsley, Sass, of course Amy, and then Jess, who is Ainsley's sister, will also be there. And I'll see you very, very shortly. That was a day at Backyard Burgs with Amy, Ainsley, who is there, and Sassy P, the Sassinator 3000. I didn't film a single thing all day because it was busy as fuck and I just really didn't have time. But I'm tired as hell and I'll probably do this video over 2 days, so I'll see you in the morning. Welcome back to the Zacro kitchen. I don't know what that was. I just wanted an exciting introduction to the little kitchen area, to the recipe part of this video. Now, I wasn't 100% sure what recipe I was going to make. However, I come across these very, very overripe bananas in my fruit bowl, and I was like, you know what would be nice? A choc chip, choc banana bread. And then I was like, banana bread's kind of boring and was really overdone in lockdown. So then I thought, mini choc chip, choc banana muffins. Stick around, you don't want to miss this one. First of all, I'm going to mash this banana. I'm going to do that downstairs, so I'm going to take the elevator. Floors. We got it. This is what mashed banana looks like for anyone. So this is it's quite a big banana. It's about 130 grams of mashed banana. So we're going to keep that aside. Alright, running through the rest of the ingredients, we have oat flour, 45 grams of oat flour, 45 grams of the My Protein Choc Banana Impact Whey Protein, absolutely delicious. Use the link in the description or use my discount code ZACRO to score yourself some hectic discount on any My Protein products. Then we have about a 1/4 cup of stevia, which turns out to be around sort of 40 to 45 grams of granulated stevia. You can use 1/4 cup of granulated whatever the hell sweetener you want. We're also going to chuck in some cinnamon because spicy boy. We're going to have 1 egg, 30 ml of almond milk, which is about 2 tablespoons, and 55 grams of applesauce. Now, I've said this before, I'll say it again, you can substitute applesauce in any recipe at all, almost, for either more mashed banana, Greek yogurt, pumpkin puree, and that's about it. Ooh, as well as that, we have some vanilla extract, vanilla essence, whichever one you want to use. You can also use flavor drops there if you want to. I have 1 teaspoon of baking powder and then 20 grams of mini dark chocolate chips. Alright, so without further ado, let's get a baking. So what we're going to do, grab your mixing bowl. I'm going to go dry ingredients first. You can sift these if you like, I'm just going to whisk them. So 45 grams of oat flour. By the way, if you don't have oat flour, feel free to blend oats into a fine powder and then you have oat flour. That's literally all it is. There's nothing magical. There's nothing crazy. It's literally just blended oats. Or buy some from the My Protein website and use my discount code. 45 grams of the Choc Banana Impact Whey, and then the stevia to follow as well. Throw in your 1 teaspoon of baking powder, bada bing, bada boom, and give that a nice whisk. Get down to some whiskey business. This recipe, I find baking really, really easy. I don't know about you guys. I just think like experimenting is the funnest part of it. I just really, really like it. Obviously I don't like it too much when it doesn't work out, but I really like this part because I know this is gonna work. Alright, so now we're gonna add our mashed banana. As I said, around 130, 140 grams of mashed banana will get the job done. You can use a little bit more, a little bit less. It surely won't matter too much. I forgot to put the cinnamon in, that's my bad. Add the applesauce as well. Again, around 55 grams of applesauce. Get as much into there as possible. What I will do is make sure I get every last drop. Because you know, like, when sometimes you make a recipe, right? And you might have left like a little bit in the bowl. You're like, nah, I counted all of these macros, I'm gonna use all of the recipe. That's exactly what I do. So if you do that and you think you're weird, well guess what? We're weird together. Alright, banana in there as well. Lovely jubbly. Follow that up with the almond milk. And again, followed by an egg. You don't have to crack this with one hand if you can't or don't want to. It's just how I prefer to do it. As a little baking tip for you guys, if you're gonna break an egg, don't break it on the side of the bowl. When you break it on the side of the bowl, it pushes the shell into the egg, whereas if you break it on a flat surface, it'll clean crack it. Now we want to throw in around a teaspoon of vanilla. I don't have a whole lot left, so I'm just going to use whatever the hell is left in the bottle. And then get rid of that. LeBron, see that throat? No, you didn't see that throat. The bin's there, I got it in. I promise I got it in. And then stir that all to combine and hopefully create a nice little batter. Now, as I said, this is this is Choc chip Choc banana. So the mixture itself is going to be Choc banana, and there's going to be Choc chips in it. So it's a hell of a lot of chocolate. So hopefully you guys like chocolate. It should be pretty sweet as well because we've got the stevia and the protein itself is quite sweet. So with any luck, it'll be nice and sweet. Also, this is a personal preference for me, but whenever I make anything banana, I leave small chunks of banana, like in the mashed banana, just so I get a nice authentic banana, you know, chunky taste in there, because I like it. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to, most definitely not. However, it's something I like to do. Now, I forgot the cinnamon before in the dry ingredients, but we're just going to chuck a little bit of that in. This will be sort of personal preference. I'd probably chuck in a solid, well, I just use the rest of that container, so I'd probably use a solid teaspoon, maybe even a little bit more, depending on your preference and how much you like cinnamon. For me, I'm a cinnamon slut, so I'm not allowed to say that. Just kidding, I'm allowed to say whatever I want. I'm a cinnamon slut, so I'll be using as much as I possibly can, and in that was the rest of that container. Now, I know I've said this before, especially on brownie videos and stuff like that, but I'm gonna add the chocolate chips last because the mixture itself isn't very thick. So the chocolate chips, if you try to incorporate it into the mixture, will just sink to the bottom of the bowl. Whereas when you put them on top of your mixture, and when we're putting the mixture in here, hopefully they will stick around while they're baking. If not, they'll sink to the bottom and we've lost either way. So there's only one way to find out. Alright, so now what we want to do is we want to separate this into 6 even cupcake molds. Do this as best you can. You can be really thorough about it if you want and measure it out. I'm just going to eyeball it because I'm going to eat all of them anyway, and it's not really like a huge bother to me. So we're going to go in again. I probably spilled a heap, but you know, it is what it is. And then last one. And I think I'll actually have leftover mixture here, which is amazing. Put that in there. So these will be all relatively even, like as best they can be. Could I have measured it and made it more accurate? Sure. Do I really care? Not at all. Like, it's Christmas season, man. You're not supposed to care that much. Just eat the food. Alright, these are more than likely overflow, but these are the risks we run in the Zacro kitchen. It is what it is. You don't have to do this, but I like to clean up the edges because I don't want that shit like baking and burning onto the tray. So I'll do my best to actually give that a quick tidy up. Now, as I said, we're going to chuck the chocolate chips on last. So I've got 20 grams of dark mini choc chips. You can use whatever choc chips you like. Alternatively, you can leave them out altogether. You can add chopped up Biscoff biscuits on here if you really want. If you want like a Biscoff banana bread, or banana muffins I should say. I've made a Biscoff banana bread before and it was insanely good. However, you know, apparently not everyone likes Biscoff, which I didn't know. I just assumed that everyone liked it because it's probably the best thing in the world. But apparently, you know, apparently that's not the case and someone lied to me. So we've got these as evenly distributed as possible. These are probably, if you're going to be thorough about anything in this recipe, it'll probably be the chocolate chips, to be honest, because you kind of want them to be as evenly dispersed as possible so you get similar macros throughout the entire batch. However, as I said, I'm winging it and I'm happy with that. So we're going to give these a quick tap on the bench to get rid of air bubbles. And then what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to grab a mini baking tray and lift this onto that tray. Now the reason I put it on a tray is because, as you saw when I lifted it up, this is extremely flexible and I always spill a little bit of mixture. As you can probably see just here, I always spill mixture. So I'm just gonna like scoop that back in there. Tastes good already, man. Yeah, so knowing that I do that, I just want to put it on a tray so that way when I do try to pick it up, it doesn't just go everywhere. Now, I'm not 100% sure how much these will rise. Hopefully not too much over the top, but we'll soon find out. We're gonna bake them for 20 minutes at first, see if that's long enough, and then I'll let you know exactly what happens after that 20 minutes is up. Hey Siri, set my timer for 20 minutes.
20 minutes starting now.
There we go. As I've mentioned previously in, I think maybe on my TikToks or maybe on my Instagram, I turn things in my oven halfway. So when it gets to halfway, I'll spin it at 180 degrees. It's because my oven is from about 300 years ago. By the way, we're cooking these at 180 degrees. That was preheated before I even started because I needed to preheat it in 2001 to make sure it got to temperature by now. But I do rotate my bakes 180 degrees in there about halfway through the cooking process, just so it cooks evenly throughout. Every single oven that's ever existed will have cool spots, and if your bake is in a cool spot, then it's obviously not going to bake like the rest of the bake. So hopefully that's going to be all good after 20 minutes, but we'll soon find out. Check back with me in 2 seconds. I'm just gonna pop back downstairs. Yo, what up? All right, so this took 30. I'm so sorry that my humor is terrible. I'm really sorry. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for sticking around. All right, so these ended up taking 30 minutes on 180 degrees. As you can see, they are cooked, hopefully all the way through, but there's only one way to find out, right? This little sucker here, if I can get it close enough to the camera, this guy right here, right at the front, hopefully it'll focus. He looks absolutely unreal. Like, there's loads of chocolate chips on top, they all stayed on top. For the most part, a few of them sank, but I'm happy with that as it'll sink throughout. And you get the chocolate chips throughout the actual muffin as well. I'm super hyped for these. That's hot. We'll taste test these in about 2 seconds. All right, I have the banana muffins right here. However, something I want to show you before we tuck into the muffins is this bad boy. This is a white chocolate filled gingerbread cookie, perfect for Christmas. This is actually going to be up on the My Protein Australia Instagram page. It won't be on my page, it'll be only on their page. Make sure you check that out when it comes up. Turn your notifications on for their page because they're also going to release the flavor drops when they drop back on the website. The Instagram will be the first place they find them. So for the entire batch of muffins, 727 calories, 84 grams of carbs, 52 grams of protein and 21 grams of fat. That means per muffin, per one of these bad boys, look at that, it is 121 calories, 14 grams of carbs, 8.5 grams of protein, and 3.5 grams of fat. But that's not very useful unless they taste good. So let's first get a little bit of a break apart. Oh, look at that. Bro, tell me that doesn't look good. All right, taste test. Yeah, that's delicious. Imagine banana bread, but muffin. Absolutely bangable. You can ice these if you want, you can just have them like this. Personally, what I think I'll do is I'll cut them in half and toast them and then put some butter in the middle. Oh man, unreal. But thank you guys so much for sticking around for another video. If you do like the content, obviously like and subscribe. All of my other social medias will be down in the description below, as will the recipe if you were too lazy to stick around. I don't blame you, to be honest. I have a pretty rough head. Like, I've got a head like a half-sucked mango. I'm well aware of that. Thank you so much for watching again. Peace. P.S. My dog says hello.